Good morning, y'all. Happy New Year. It's Sunday morning and it's the first day of 2023. And I'm out here. It is 58 degrees. I can't believe I ever thought that like 60 degrees was cold because this feels warm. It feels very warm right now. After that freeze, we had an entire week when the temperatures were down in the 20s and it was terrible. But we got through it. And now I'm going to show you what is happening in the garden. My name's Rachel, and I'm gardening for butterflies on the Gulf Coast in Zone 9A. And just come along and see what happened. We're reading through the Bible in a year on a Bible app. And this morning I read in Genesis something that had actually never stood out to me, and I don't know why. But God made plants and trees on the third day. And he did not set the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky until the fourth day. So that's how important plants and trees are. They come before the sun and the moon and the stars. Another cool thing is when he made Adam, he put him in the garden to tend it and work it. And so I feel like when I'm out here gardening, I am fulfilling the actual job that first one that he ever gave man, which I think is fun. And look at this. This rose, it froze, but it still has its color. I doubt if it's gonna actually bloom because it was frozen solid. But I wanted to show y'all something cool that everything, looks somewhat dead, almost everything. But wow, I have a bunch of violets under the lemon tree, and look how green they are. They were not affected at all by the freezing temperatures. Also, the creeping Jenny looks pretty good too. It didn't suffer at all. Everything else is just like a brown mush. The summer romance rose, it did get hit, but it doesn't look as bad as it could look. Look at that. I'm gonna leave this passion flower vine up because the birds like to hide in the leaves, but I think I'm gonna end up having to cut it all the way back. I'm not worried about it. I think it will grow back, but because look at the stem, look how massive it is. I just have never seen it like this before. It got hit hard. And then here's some pots that I couldn't bring in. There wasn't enough room. But look, there you go, pansies. They can take it. They can take 5 days of 20-degree temperatures. And then this is black-eyed Susans. They are fine also. Black-eyed Susans. So I'm glad I left those out. And some of these other ones, one of the reasons why I left them out here is because they had something gross, some kind of those little white things. I never sprayed anything on them to kill them, so I was like, I did not want to bring those in the potting shed. I do want to show y'all how well the cut leaf coneflower did. Look at it. It was wilted a few days ago, but look, it's coming back. It's like really sturdy. So the frost did not hurt it. And I was going to show you, even on the violets, I have some flowers. Look how shocking this is. They are tough. I'm not worried about violets taking over because, as what happens is the armadillos are going to come along and dig up whatever they want. So anything that's growing in the ground, I just let it go. Eventually it won't survive, not with the armadillos, but this is what it's looking like right now. It's gonna improve drastically, let me tell you. It looks like everything in the bog garden survived, even the pitcher plants. But they're native to here. But look at them, they're not dead. There is life there. And these little pincushion plants and whatever this is that I can't remember the name of, and that right there, alive. Also, Venus flytrap, alive, not frozen. It's amazing. They are so much more resilient than I would ever give them credit for. I pulled a lot of the pots out of the potting shed because we got some rain this week, and you know, the highs, the temperature highs have been up in like the mid 60s. So these things have really been enjoying being outside. This diamond frost euphorbia was up at the top of the potting shed on the top shelf, and you can see the frost got part of it. I need to cut it back, but almost everything else did really well. And in fact, yesterday I saw monarchs on the coneflower, monarch butterflies. Somehow they made it. God just protected them. I have no idea what they did, but so that's, I didn't even, you know, arrange this artfully. I just drug it out here because I'm going to end up dragging it back in the potting shed if I get a threat of freezing temperatures again, which I'm sure we will. And the fennel and the peas are not completely dead, but they are mush. Oh, and I'm going to show you the difference between a Jewels of Opar that has been hit by freezing temperatures. Yes, it turns to black mush. And here's what happens to Jewels of Opar when you keep it inside and keep it from freezing. It can live. And look at this. This princess flower is blooming. Aren't the blooms beautiful? I love how the buds are pink and then they pop out with this purple. And look at the two-tone colors of this flower right here. Is that not incredible? Princess flower cannot take temperatures under 40 degrees. So this princess flower is going to stay in the potting shed for the rest of the winter. It's doing pretty well considering what it's been through. I decided I'm going to keep the coleus and the carrots in the potting shed, and I keep forgetting to close the door at night, but I need to because I don't want raccoons to discover that this is where all the carroty goodness is. But I've got all the carrots in here. I'm so surprised by this. Look at this. This is fanflower. I can't remember. Is it called scabiosa, something like that? Look at that. Look how, now I almost yanked this out and threw it away earlier in the summer because it looked so disgusting. But look at it. It's just coming over this one side, but isn't it pretty? And maybe it's, well, it definitely is hardier than I expected. So I'm so thankful that I held off, and yeah, I've got dreams of carrot flowers dancing in my head. As far as the cuttings go, quite a few of them are doing well. I can't even remember what this was. These are not as hardy. I know they were coleus, but I don't remember what kind, but those are sad. I think I've said that I was going to do some more Amistad cuttings, and I didn't, and this is what I have, and these are looking pitiful. And I still have got to pot up the kale, but isn't it looking good? I really like the color of kale. I hope that these can grow into tree-like specimens like I had before. And so I'm going to wish that I had planted some more nasturtium. These are the climbing nasturtium. Don't they look so sweet? Two things that I'm going to need to remember for next year. This one, don't put the coleus on the outside wall. It's going to freeze by the window. The other thing I need to remember is sun patiens should not be on the floor. Sun patiens need to be like up on this potting bench, because I think if they had been farther up where the heat rises, I think they would have done better and not turned into gross brown mush. Other lessons, I'm not learning anything from this. I can't remember who said it, but look, see, these are seedlings of that coral nymph salvia. Someone said once you have coral nymph salvia, you will have it in abundance, and yes, it is true. Like in almost every one of my pots, I have coral nymph salvia coming up. You know, I would rather have too much than too little because it is a darling plant. Talking about coral nymph salvia, look at this. Well, maybe it's red like that because it's dying, but look how brightly colored this flower is. The colors have been Maybe it's because the sun doesn't bleach them out. I don't know. It just seems like the colors are more vibrant than they were during the summer. Maybe that's just me. But aren't these colors together pretty? I'm really enjoying this. Of course, I'm going to love color all the time. And let's talk about this sedum. I never expected, of course I should have cleaned that off, but I just never expected sedum to do like it does for everyone else. But look, isn't it just the cutest thing? Just growing crazy, crazy hair. Probably by, you know, midsummer, we won't even be able to see that pot anymore. See this yarrow? I started this from seed, and then it grew up into a coral nymph salvia. It was using it as kind of like it's just a trellis. And it grew really tall and then flopped over, and then I've got this stuff right here, and I've just never grown this before, this kind. It's never flowered. I'm wondering what y'all would recommend that I do. Should I cut all of that floppy growth off and let this good happy stuff right here be all of it? I don't know. Can y'all believe that this monarch butterfly made it through the freeze, the great freeze? It is incredible. All right, y'all, I'm excited for 2023. It is going to be an incredible year. I think it's going to be the best one yet, and I hope it will be for you too. And God bless y'all. Have a great week, and I can't wait to get back to your comments. I was working on them this morning, but I can't wait to hear what's happening with y'all. And I'll see you next week. Bye.